Shalom, shalom, shalom. How's everybody doing today? My name is Jermaine. Um, I uh, I really don't do the videos. I'm not looking for followers or likes or any of that. Um, I'm making this video because the other day I watched the New Jerusalem Council, and I was really discouraged and disappointed by the conversation. And that's not to come against anybody or speak ill of anybody because I follow each and every member of the panel. I follow them. I respect them. I've learned from them. Um, and I'm going to continue to follow them. I'm going to continue to respect their positions. I'm going to continue. But first, I want to start out by saying this. No, I don't agree with everything that everybody says of any of the people. Okay, but I want to start out with this. I'm doing this because I want you to understand. Now, now I've been in this truth for longer than uh, probably everyone on the panel, everyone involved in that New Jerusalem Council. The reason why I say this is because Sister E, Dante, Teo, even Pastor Kelly, I think. Um, I'm not sure about Divine Prospect, but they speak of this awakening um, starting like 2015. But I'm telling you right now, and I'm coming to you from my experience. And I've been in here doing this thing for 10, 12 years. And yes, this is 2015 was another wave of the awakening. Like I said, I've been doing this for 10, 12 years now. And I was awakened. And I know many people at that time that were awakened. And so these are waves. These things happen in waves. And so I can see the same conversation going on right now in this wave that happened in the wave that I was in. And that's why I'm bringing this to you. Um, the conversation when I was there was, we should start coming together into communities. We should flee Babylon. And these things are, so you got to ask yourself, where do these thoughts come from? Where do these feelings come from? Where do you know what I mean? And I'm sorry that I'm not very good at this talking thing here, but I will. What I'm going to do, I'll talk about that in a second. So it comes in waves, and I'm telling you, I see the same thing happening in this wave that happened in the wave that I was involved in. Um, and so I'm going to tell you what happened. That was the talk throughout the community at the time. The same talk about fleeing, about coming together in communities or building our own cities, becoming autonomous, and all these other things. It was the same exact talk, and some went on to do that, but then there were those that didn't. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Most of the leaders that I listen to, or the people that I talked to or listened to, even heard from during that time, um, they fought against it. Oh no. Uh, One of the main arguments was we're supposed to be in the world. How are we going to wake our people up if we go off into our own little communities in the corner? That was the talk. Um, you know, occupy till he comes. But does that necessarily mean that you're supposed to be sprinkled around like uh, pepper all over the place? Because that's where we're at. We're not. We're like pepper. There's many of us that can't afford to pack up and go to Africa, that can't even afford to drive to the next city or state to be a part of an assembly. And many of us are in places that there is no assembly, or if there is, we don't know anything about it because it's so underground, right? It's not mainstream Christianity we're talking about here. You're not going to find a building on every corner. And there's many of us that are in situations that we barely can even pay bills. So how are we going to go and do these things, right? So uh, a lot of the preachers or mores and teachers rejected the idea, and they came up with their own things for it. But what I'm going to tell you happened is, and because there was a group of, I was involved in a group where we were trying to do that. So we got together. Brothers came from out of town, and we met at our houses every Shabbat and had studies, and because we wanted to do these things to get to know each other before we start trying to put our money together, because we wanted to buy land. Well, that thing didn't last because, of course, in Israel, everybody wants to be the teacher, everybody wants to be the leader, and nobody has the humility to follow. And so there became a strife or a dispute about Gentiles. Can Gentiles be on the land? Can Gentiles be part of the community? So there were some that said no, and there were some that said, well, how can we deny them? And I'll be honest with you, I was one of those that were like, how can you deny them? Because I know Gentiles that woke up at the same time I did. I'm talking about hundreds. I was fellowshipping with them. They woke up to this whole thing the same time I did, the same way I did. I didn't come into this because I read somebody's book or watched somebody's video or somebody on the corner came and talked to me. I came to this because I fasted and prayed because I knew something wasn't sitting right with me while I was in church. And I fasted and I prayed and I said, Father, you got to tell me the truth here because there's something going on and I don't know exactly what. I can't put my finger on it. But I know that there's more to it than this. And that's how it happened. I fasted and prayed. And the Most High came to me in a dream and gave me some instructions. And I began to follow those instructions. And I went through a series of miraculous events, a series of things that brought me to the, to where I'm at. And that's many of us, most of us in this awakening. That's how we got there. We didn't get there through some other crazy means. We didn't get there because the camp was on the corner. Most of us. But the truth of the matter is, I know white folks that's came into it just like that too. So, but anyway, so that broke up the situation, so it never happened. And I'm going to tell you, some of the brothers that was involved in that are still walking in the way. I'm one of those. There wasn't just my little group. I'm talking about this was happening uh, uh, throughout the entire awakening. People were having these thoughts and ideas. Some people went on to do them and they've started communities and they've done this and they've done that and they're still doing it. They've been doing that and starting them through the whole way. I know a lot of you guys don't like Pastor Dow because of the wife thing and because the way he talks and he's really abrasive. And, I understand that. But I happen to like the brother and he's a little different. And I noticed that everybody that's in those communities, they're a little more, they're a little more rugged. You know what I mean? In their approach and the way they bring things. But those people want for nothing. And we got brothers and sisters out here right now that's suffering in poverty. I'm blessed to be a plumber and, to be an entrepreneur and all those kind of things. But most of us aren't out here doing that stuff. And many of the people in the awakening are, they're from broken situations, broken homes, broken families. Even when they came into the awakening, it broke their family up. It divided their family. The wife wouldn't follow, or the husband didn't want to do it, or the boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, or the mom and whatever. I mean, we know these things. It's happened. They're getting kicked out of churches they go to. I got kicked out of church. So My whole point in telling you this because I want to warn you. I want it to be an admonishment. I want it to be a warning. I want it to be a help to you in some kind of way. Now, I'm not trying to tell you that you should do this and that you should do that. But what I am going to do, I'm going to make a video and I'm going to use nothing but scripture. And I'm going to prove to you that in the Bible, that this is what they were doing. And that see, what we got is we got everybody, and you got to be careful when we're talking about being led by the Spirit. Because a lot of times when people are talking about being led by the Spirit, they don't understand that really they're talking about being led by their own voice in their own head. So we got to, so the Bible says that John says that there's many spirits. And so we got to test the spirits, right? So we have, that's what the Torah, that's what the law does for us. It allows us to test the spirits to know who's who. We got, verses that they don't keep the commandments, then the liar and the truth is not in them. So we know right there, if somebody's not keeping the commandments, that's not the voice we want to listen to. If it's telling us to break the commandments, that's not the voice that's this is what the book says. Not only there, it says it in Isaiah, 1 John, so we have and also the book tells us what? To, from the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every matter be established. So whatever you feel like the Spirit is leading you to do, you got to go find the witnesses to witness to that. So what I do is I go to the book, and I find in the book a situation or whatever and how they dealt with it. And if I can see 2 or 3 witnesses in that book, then I know. So however you want to do it. But you have to test the spirits, because a lot of times being led by the Holy Spirit, or I don't feel like the Spirit is leading me to do this, or I feel like the Spirit is leading me to do that. A lot of times that's you. Especially if it's something that's contrary to the law, because the law is the standard. The law is the standard by which we are to know. That's what shows us what is profane and what is holy, what is clean and what is unclean, what is wicked and what is righteousness. You understand? That's what that does. So I'm not trying to tell anybody, but I'm going to tell you what happened here. So back to that whole thing. So this is the same talk. This is the same talk that I heard then, and not just in my own group, but throughout the community at the time. Like I said, the preachers, a lot of them, they were discouraging it because people were bringing it up everywhere I turned, and they discouraged it. And that's got to be for a reason. Like I said, there's a lot of chiefs and no Indians, a lot of leaders and a lot of mores. You understand, but the book even gives us a way to choose who our leaders are. And I put that video up on Hebrew Sphere already. So go check it out. It's called Casting Lots. That's how, from the beginning all the way to the New Testament, that's how they chose. I showed you verse by verse by verse. And that's what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to go to the book, and it's going to be a lot of verses. So it's going to be a long video. It's going to be a lot of verses. And we're going to dig into there, and I'm going to show you what the book says nation building is, because everybody's talking nation building and kingdom building and doing all. I'm going to show you what the book says it is. And I'm going to show you how they did it in the old and in the new, because it's there. And I'm going to show you that he gives us these things. You're not supposed to be out here doing whatever you think is right in your own eyes. You're not supposed to be out here building how you think you're supposed to be building. You're not supposed to be out here teaching what you think you should be teaching. You're not supposed to. Do you understand? That's what he told them when they came out of Mitzrayim, when they came out of Egypt. He told them, before you enter into the land, you're not going to do. Every man is not going to do here today what they did then, whatever was right in their own eyes. And so that's why we got all these different teachings and doctrines, and everybody talking about how you feel about it. No, if we're going to be a kingdom, if we're going to be a nation, then we got to get off the religion. That's that Christian religion stuff. There's got to be leaders in Israel. There's elders in Israel. You understand? And it ain't about who got the most Bible knowledge and who got the most knowledge of history. It's not even about that. The Most High's got to choose. Either we're going to be a nation or we're going to be a church. Which one are we going to be? But there's people suffering. So back to, I'm sorry, I keep going off on them rants. But back to, so that was the talk. The preachers, the mores and the teachers, the majority of them dismissed it and actually went to talk people out. And I've even heard mores do that today. I'll never do it. I'll never go and be a part of anybody's community. So what happened? And it happened right in my group. So when that didn't come to fruition and people tried to convince themselves that not to do it, and when people didn't do it, the whole atmosphere in the community, not just one group, not just my group, but in the community changed. And I noticed people became stagnant. And then some people started falling away. There was my closest brother that came, when I had the dream and the vision, I went and told him, and he was like, "Oh man, I'm with you. Let's ride." And we rode for years. And then when that whole thing fell off, now I just talked to him the other day. He talking to me on the phone about, he can lay down on his bed and meditate and leave his body and walk around the house. And he said, "I can even come to your house." I said, "You come to my house, bro, I'm going to cast you out. So don't come over here." But I'm just telling you, this is what happened. They've became stagnant, and some even fell away. Some are still out here. And I noticed in my own life, the fire kind of died out. But I know Yah's all I got. I ain't got nothing else. He gave this to me in a way that no man gave it to me, so no man can take it away. So I refuse to let go. But I do know this, that it really gave me a spiritual blow. It knocked the wind out of me. And it wasn't real fast either. It happened gradually. And to be honest with you, then I went for, it's been a few years now with no fellowship as far as meeting together, because it's broke up. And I did start meeting. We started meeting, a few of us in the library, but nobody's. I showed up, and first everybody was there, and then the numbers just started dwindling away, and it wasn't even a thing like where I was trying to lead it. I'd let say, "You got something to study, bring it. Let's study it." That's how that went. And it eventually dwindled into nothing. So that's my warning to you. If this is what you feel on your heart, then you got to find a way to make it happen. And you so-called leaders, I don't know if you put yourself there or if the Most High's really put you there. You only been in this a few years, 2 years, 3 years, and now you got all this knowledge. I'm telling you, I've been there, I've seen it, I've done it. You know what I mean? Don't discourage your people. Find a way up. Then when Brother Divine Prospect came on and he said what he had to say, man, I was encouraged then, because I was discouraged at first, because you guys talking about, oh, they're going to come find a way to destroy it and find a way to kill us and do it. Who do you believe in? How did you come to this thing? I had a brother ask me from the last video I put on a month or so ago on the Hebrew Sphere about casting lots, about choosing leaders and fixing our divisions and bringing us into unity. That's what that video is about. Go watch it. I don't want your views. I'm not monetized. If you look at the channel, there's only 2 videos on there. That one and a video of me giving my testimony that I uploaded on to Teo Ministries. That's it. So I'm not in here looking for anything. I'm trying to share my experience with you and give you some understanding, because I've been doing this maybe a little longer than many of you. Not everybody, and I'm sure there's somebody that's been doing it longer than me. But you understand, this isn't church, this isn't religion, this isn't Christianity, this is something different. And we got to stop approaching it with that religious approach. You understand? So in Egypt, he took a people out of Egypt and made a nation out of them. And that's where we're at, right? That's what's going to happen right now. We're going to the same place. So we gotta get off the religion. You know, I get on that thing in Hebrew Sphere and I see some of them craziest questions like, are you for real? Does that really matter? I mean, for real. Because right now at this time, the Bible talks about, every, 3 times a year you go before the Most High at these feast days. I know some of y'all don't believe we could do that, but it doesn't say you have to go to Jerusalem. Go find that in the Bible and tell me, show me, post it. Where does it say you have to go to Jerusalem? Because they were keeping that thing in the wilderness before they even entered the land. Then after they entered the land, the first place it was in Shiloh. Then they sinned, so the Most High said, I'm removing my name from Shiloh, and then it went to Jerusalem. You understand? And then the Messiah came and said, where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst. So it's wherever his presence is. So you understand? It's wherever his name is. It doesn't say Jerusalem. It says wherever his name is, wherever I choose to put my name. That's what it says in the Torah. That's the law. The law doesn't say anything about Jerusalem because they weren't even in Jerusalem at first. It was in Shiloh after they entered the land. It wasn't in Jerusalem. So get off of that. You can stop that. But that's what I mean. He chooses our leaders. And that if he chooses our leaders, then he'll choose our leaders that we won't be making these mistakes. I understand we won't be making these kind of mistakes. But anyway, we got people that aren't getting together with anybody. And we're internet Hebrews, internet Israel. That's not building. That's not nation building. And then, some people are so wicked and they're afraid that they're going to be seen and their own sins are going to be seen by the people around them. That's why they refuse to come into community with one another. That's why some people refuse to even go to an assembly when they have one in their area because of their own wickedness. I mean, let's be real with it. Because of their own sin, because they don't feel clean, because they haven't given fully up to Yah. You understand? So, my warning to you is, I've seen brothers lose their life, not physical life, but their life. They're gone. They're not even involved in this anymore. They're not even in the awakening anymore. They went to something else because they didn't do what Yah had put on the hearts of the people to do then. What he was stirring the hearts of the people to do then, many fell away. And those that didn't fall away are barely hanging on. You understand? And they're waiting for that next opportunity. I'm one of those. I'm waiting for that next opportunity because I want to go. And I'm not going to let some little schism between me and, because think about it. It says bear one another burdens. How you gonna bear one another burdens? You on the internet. I mean, real talk. How you bear one another burdens? You on the internet. You're an internet Hebrew. Through prayer. I got a whole teaching on intercession, what it really is, according to the book. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to put that out there. I'm not trying to do none of that. All I want to do is try to get our people to focus on what the Most High says and not on what your own heart says. Because the Bible says your heart is wicked and deceitful above all things, and who can know it? So let's get off that how the Spirit leads you. And let's seek and pray. Let's seek and, okay, that's my challenge to everybody on the Hebrew Sphere then. Let's have a day. Let's choose a day where we're going to fast and pray for understanding about this one topic here, and that's coming out of her, my people, and coming into community with one another. And let's see if we can do it. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see if we can fast and pray and get the answer. So it won't be us just talking about, oh, I'm led to do this and I'm led to do that. That's that wickedness. That's that pride. He's not doing 2, 3, 4, 5 different things in the earth. You understand? Right now he's doing one thing, not in Israel. He's not doing you go over and you no. Yeah, if it is, but it's gonna come from a place of unity. It's not gonna come from a place of, oh, that's your ministry. You do what you, and it's not gonna come from a place of people debating and arguing and disagreeing and having two different doctrines. That's not, that's bull crap. That's from Hasatan. That's not from the most high, mighty Yah. It's not. It's not. That's you. That's in your own head. The spirit that you being led by is your own spirit. I promise you, it's got to be. It can't be. But anyway, um, I am going to. So I'm trying to give you the warning because it made everything dark when we didn't do what we were supposed to do, or we were unable to accomplish that which we were supposed to do. It made everything. It changed everything. The fires. Some of them went all the way out, and some of them dimmed down. So I see this second wave, and here's the opportunity to take the opportunity. And we're in a place where we weren't when I first came to this. There wasn't no COVID-19s, and they out here trying to put some biotech inside of your body and do all. They wasn't doing that. That wasn't it. But it was still in the hearts of the people to do it, and some did. But then a lot didn't. The majority didn't. So we're in a place. If Teo's right, Fortune's right, those people are right. Famine's coming. We're already in the midst of that. All these civil unrest, everybody buying up guns everywhere, and y'all want to stay sprinkled around the country like pepper. When we got an opportunity, we can use Hebrew sphere to mobilize and to galvanize and to come into different groups all around the country, and then we can begin to help one another in whatever areas they have to help one another in those areas. Because I mean, yeah, it's going to be some bad apples in the bunch, but all that's going to weed itself out. Paul said divisions come so that the everybody's going to know who everybody is. I mean, what better way can you get into a position to really actually love your neighbor, really actually bear one another's burdens, forgive one another's sins? But in that situation, because you can't do it right now behind a computer screen and everybody sprinkled around the country like pepper. That's the way of beauty. That's the way of life. We're really going to be able to experience and really grow and really, really become something and really become a nation and really grow as a people. And then we'll see the mighty hand of Yah working among our people. And then we won't be worried about them coming to drop bombs on our communities, on our cities or whatever. Yah. Yah. Whatever they do is by the hand of Yah. Don't you get it? It's by the hand of Yah that them young men are getting shot down in the street. I mean, come on, man. Let's be real. It's time to get off the. It's time to get off the religion. Get out of it. When it says "come out of her, my people," it's not just talking about coming out of church. Read the book. Babylon is a religious, political, and economic system. So it's not just talking about coming out of church. You ain't did enough. We ain't did enough just coming out of churches. It says come out from among them. That's what it says in Corinthians. Come out from among them. Among means in the midst of. Come out from among what? Right before that it says, for what fellowship does light have with darkness and the unbeliever and the believer. So he's telling you to come out from among them, among the unbelievers. Come out from among them. That's a physical thing. That's not a mental sit right there. That's a physical thing. So I just want to encourage you. If you feel that way, if it's on your heart, then we got to figure out a way to make it happen. It's on my heart. And I'm telling you right now, right here, that I'm game. I will, I will, I will follow and serve my brothers and sisters that want to do this thing. Now, may Yah Barak you. I got to get out of here. It's almost 30 minutes. Peace.